Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children and monsters of all ages, space, and time, welcome to the Evolve Effect, episode 72. I'm joined today by the two wisest and strongest members of there ever was Evolve, Shauna Retar,
Hello.
raising that
Still
cup because
surviving from
she did things,
SummerSlam.
ladies and gentlemen. And wise man from the West, Mr. EOD.
What's up, everyone? Head's kind of hurting a little bit because I got my hair did. They get the beard did. That's tomorrow. But
Okay. Hope you feel better. Ladies and gentlemen, this is episode 72. We have a new ring announcer for now. He actually put on his Twitter that he will be there for about 4 episodes. So hopefully I tagged him saying, please stay. Mike Rome sucks. So just don't come back, Mike Rome. Before we get started, like always, we have the de-evolve array with all the crazy stuff, and I'll just press the button now because it's some crazy stuff that happens. Here we go.
You may think of evolution as an upward process. Things evolve from primeval slime, up to single-cell organisms, up to intelligent life. De-evolution, of course, works the opposite way. Back to simpler forms.
There we go. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that's happened over the last couple of days between Joey Janela, one person, and Marcus Mathers. Now, supposedly and allegedly, Joey Janela's friend or others, or I forgot his name, was trying to convince Marcus Mathers in a ring to burn his WWE ID contract. Shauna, your thoughts? He didn't do it, though. It was a planned, wrestling event type of thing. So what are your thoughts?
I don't know. I just think sometimes things like that can be taken too seriously. And I think there are certain things that you say, hey, you want to burn or something. Things like that don't. Because I think that just looks bad if it goes through. Do something that can be have a fake piece of gear made, right? That looks like a replica of something that means something to you. So you get to keep it. Something that actually is that. But I think, with all the work and getting to the ID talent, I think had happened, even if it was, staged or whatever, it's going to look bad and it's not going to be good. And it's going to be do you really care about being there? So do something silly, burn a t-shirt, break a watch, something that you're oh, it has sentimental, but it's not, it's the replica. Do something like that. But something that you're working hard for to achieve is you're just asking for pettiness, I feel.
Yeah. EOD?
yeah, this is actually my first time hearing about it. And I agree with Shauna 100%. It's just get something else. It doesn't have to, why the contract of all things? I mean, that's not good. Even if it's funny, someone at WWE is not going to think it's funny. And you just don't want to go down that path. Just like you said, just make up something if you have to. Oh, like a t-shirt. Oh, a teddy. Remember, the teddy bear with, that Winnie Chu and them were feuding over, destroying the teddy bear on Evolve, something like that. I'm pretty sure she didn't really sneak in that boy's room, take the teddy bear, and rip the head off. I'm pretty sure that didn't happen in real life. So I'm yeah, just something like that. Just make up something. But a WWE contract, that's crazy. Even if it's not the actual contract, just by saying it, it's just you're just asking for trouble and everything. So
I just wanted to bring that up. There's nothing really that happened in I guess in NXT where they said, oh, Thea Hale pinned Nikita on Evolve, and then she pinned her again. She tapped her the first time, but pinned her again. So, Shauna, what are your thoughts on Thea twice pinned the Evolve champion, in a sense?
It's going to be good. When she got that pin on her, I was oh yeah, they are setting this up hardcore for that, championship there. I think that's really good for Thea too. Because I'm a huge Thea fan and I will defend her because I love her. But I think to continue into the Evolve storyline, the storyline with the Natty thing, I think it's really good to finally put Thea in the spotlight. And I think the storyline is going to be able to carry over on both brands really well. And I think next week we may see on both something with Thea being oh yeah, I got you twice now. Let's go. So I think it's going to play out really fun.
Okay. EOD, your thoughts on Thea finally beating her? Oh, by the way, she beat her with the same move that accidentally won her the belt the first time.
Yeah. It was a good surprise because going into the match, I'm just thinking, one, it's already weird that Thea and Jada are tagging in the first place because I remember they had a little blood feud that now they're besties. But besides that, I actually just thought it was gonna be Parker that was gonna get the pin. So when I saw them, I was like, oh, they're actually tying it into Evolve, which makes sense because really you could even have Parker pin Carmen. It like any combination would have worked. So the fact that they did it this way, I'm like, oh, they're actually trying to have some continuity between the programs. So when they talk about it next week, then I can say, oh, this is what happened. She's pinned her twice in the last 2 weeks. So I did like that. I didn't see it until it actually happened. But this makes complete sense for those who watch Evolve. And if you don't watch Evolve, it made sense for them too and everything. So now you could talk about it on both brands.
Actually, I agree on that because they didn't. We're not going to spoil anything, ladies and gentlemen. But Thea and Nikita was not mentioned in Evolve this episode. Not a whisper. So that means they're going to stretch this out until the 4th episode, which is fine. It's smart. Stretch it out to the main event. Go for it.
And I will say, I have one little, really, we're going to do this here that I have to bring up. We saw Robert Stone being the one to replace Harlem and Nikita's side place on the NXT social media channels. Why was that not on the Evolve social media channels? And why was Thatcher not the one to switch out their place? Just saying.
Thank you for bringing that up.
Oh, go ahead.
Go on, EOD. No, go on.
And I was going to say, I know Stone and one of them said that Thatcher's not there on Tuesdays. So just to explain away why he was the one doing it, I'm like, that's a little flimsy, but it's a reason. So I'm like, it should have been Thatcher, but he said, yeah, he's not here on Tuesdays, so that's why he's doing it. But all I saw was Nikita's. Like, I don't know if Harlem didn't get his side plates.
They did it. Yeah, they ended up having a social with Robert, giving Harlem his plates too.
Okay, yeah, I haven't seen that one. I saw the one with Nikita, and that's when he was talking about Thatcher would normally, but it's Tuesdays and he's not here on Tuesdays, so
it makes sense. But you know what doesn't make sense? That when we get to the main event, Harlem remember the same day where Stone's like, here's your nameplates. He makes this great promo. He promotes Evolve. Then in the main event, the same nameplates are not on the belt. So what are you doing here? Why would you show the same exact promo that same day and then say, oh, by the way, it's timey-wimey shit? It's just like, no. Well, let's I will get a rant on that for the next 5 minutes, but I'm not going to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, time for the beep, 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 beep. We have Harlem Lewis. He talks about, and I love this little line that he says, from the second he got to the PC, all he wanted was the Evolve Championship. Not the NXT, not going to Raw, SmackDown, or WrestleMania. It's like, no, I want to get the Evolve Championship. That's what's up. And he says that the
hard work, not Harlem Lewis himself. So the big story, you got Max has had his chance against Aaron Work for the championship. Tristan, same thing. So it feels like it's longer because it's all been based around the championship. So it made sense and everything. And it really makes you think that Harlem Lewis was reigning a lot longer than he actually was. So, they did a good job. It was a good way to open up the show. It showed just how important the Evolve Championship is. So everybody, what their motivations are for getting it, and just sowing some seeds and everything. Like, okay, is Harlem Lewis going to come out or not? Because me going into the show, I was thinking that I don't think they're going to take it off of him, but this promo kind of made it seem like they might. We don't know. So. Wait, hold on. I can't hear you, Alex.
My bad.
Okay.
There we go. I like this promo because it shows that how Harlem Lewis is. He's an evolved man through and through. That's like how Jackson Drake was in the beginning. He wasn't really talking about NXT. He was talking about Evolve. Shout out to Jackson Drake. You lost your girl next week. But for Harlem, yeah, sure. You laugh because you know it's true. Michael likes some tall ones and thick ones, not them skinny boys.
HR.
She did. Either way.
You can't look at people that way anymore at the workplace.
Yeah, but you know what? Ever since Aaron Rourke passed by, she's like, we can do anything. Yay! Oh my God. Okay. Also, I want to give a shout out to Veronica Haven. She has been let go by the company. Um, she used to be okay. Her name was Fallon Gray. She used before signing her ID in February or March. She will now go by Veronica West. So I get that. This is a quote from ProWrestling.net. I heavily criticized Gold when she appeared in the Flowery Sunday Best Dressed a couple weeks ago for Nikita Alliance test. Yeah, she was called like Flowery. Noting that they had completely dropped the ball on her character and had stripped her everything that made her unique. When you sign Danhausen, it isn't because he's a world-class in the ring talent. No, you like the gimmick. At WWE saw Fallon Gray's gimmick, which got her over, and started to strip her of it. Your thoughts on that, Shauna? Which is kind of true. They stripped her one match with Layla with the bird, and after that, it was a flower dress.
Yeah, I noticed that too, because that's where, she's the fallen, and that's, changing it because she's the fallen angel. And I noticed that like right away on the Nikita thing. I'm like, why is Fallon not looking like Fallon has looked before? So, you have to wonder if that creative decision led to part of this, to be like, hey, this is who I was before. So I think it's going to be interesting on the indies now, what she picks up and where she goes from here. But if this wasn't meant for her, it wasn't meant for her. Wish her all the best and all the luck, and hopefully, maybe one day down the future we see her again. But things happen and sometimes they don't mesh. So just wishing her the best, and hopefully, this leads to bigger and better things for her.
Agree completely. EOD, your thoughts on this? And the fact that her character on Evolve is way different than her character on Instagram, which is extreme. I like her extreme things, but your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I actually didn't notice the outfit. I just figured there was just so many people involved in that match that maybe it was a time thing, because I did like the wings. I thought that was great. So I just thought maybe it was a time issue. So I didn't think nothing of it. And yeah, and that was funny that you mentioned about her character on Instagram, because I saw what she was doing on Instagram, I think, right before that match even happened. It's like different. I just figured, okay, indies, they just do different things on the indies sometimes. So that's all I thought it was. So I didn't know it was like something where like she was gonna leave the company like over it. I just thought, okay, she's kind of just doing her indie stuff. I think I saw one with two other people. They were doing something. I'm like, oh wow, this is different and everything. I'm like, okay, good for her. But yeah, she's super young. I didn't realize how young she was. And just because you're not in WWE now doesn't mean you might not get back in there later on. So it's like, just do what you need to go do, and hopefully we'll see you back here one day. And if not, maybe we'll see you on another promotion. So it's not the end of the world. We've had people already been like asked for releases and went off to other places and doing some good stuff. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. I was just kind of shocked when I heard about it. I was like, wait, she was just being featured? What? Because I didn't know why she was gone. I just knew she wasn't there anymore. But it seems like, okay, it was more okay. They kind of did stuff that I guess she kind of just wanted to do something else. So nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I know. You know what, Veronica Haven or Veronica West or Veronica Gray, whatever you want to call yourself. Two things. Hope we get that interview soon. Fingers crossed. And two, go to ROH. There's a woman called Ember Moon down there with her own wings. You can make a whole like Greek mythic freaking storyline with that. I came from the same place you came from. Just go nuts. Just you can. It's true. In ROH, they take anybody and everybody and they make them stars. Zeta Steel is having fun down there.
A porcelain hussy. That's what. That's what I was thinking. Because that's what she calls them all.
Oh my God! All right, I like that. All right, now let's get to the show. Mod Squad comes out all dressed. I mean, minus Jakari and Santi, they're just in wrestling gear. CJ's dressed up, which I thought it was gonna be CJ versus Holloway this week. I'm like, oh, I guess not. I was like, all right, I guess we're not gonna do that this week, and I guess not next week either. So I guess they're gonna set it up for like the last set of tapings, which is fine. Stack it up, smart. I don't even need the transcript for this. This is ridiculous. Basically, CJ and Max Abrams hug. Hey, thank you. I love you too. CJ says if Max wins the title belt, will be Hot Boy Summer. Max Abrams goes and tells Robert Stone and Blake Howard, have you been telling people what Mog is? And I love that Robert Stone immediately just points to Blake Howard. Like, no, that's his fault. Also, then this hello Ryan Katz in the background acting like he just had a hot dog and he just laying down chilling. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing there? Okay. And he's just looking at them like, why are you okay. And Blake Howard's like, oh, what the hell? They continue on. Santi Rivera says, you know, oh, if you win the championship, we're gonna be the best thing ever. We're the best tag team. You're like everything else. As this is happening, Victor Zanoff and Shido Asher in the back, they already beat up Kai Karari so much that he left the company. Sorry about that. I had to make that joke. And they look at like, oh, fuck this shit. So they go into the ring, and before we start the match, Shauna, your thoughts on the promo and the fact that Victor and Zana, by the way, French intro. I did like the beats. That was pretty badass. But your thoughts?
I did like the promo, and I will say going into what happened in the match, I think at first I was like, why are we giving the boys a match? But then, you know, I was like, it makes sense for what happened after the match. But I really like how the Mog Squad thinks they're up here, and sometimes they get knocked down a peg or two, but then they go right back up here. Like, so it's kind of going to be interesting of when they're finally going to get that they're not all of that in a bag of chips like they think they are. Even though they've got that mentality, which is great. I think we're really pushing Max a lot, which is awesome. But I was like, because we would said, you know, what is Thatcher going to do? Before this started, we were like, what is Thatcher doing? Because he said he had a special surprise, you know, for the Mog Squad. Still upset to see Shido and Victor having matches. I just want chaos out of them. But I liked it. It's making the Mog Squad just be unbelievable. And the thing is, if we are going to have a tag team division, we've got 2 heel tag teams. Where's our face tag team? We got to get a face tag team in there somewhere to tackle these guys. But I enjoyed it. Everything with the Mog Squad just makes me laugh. Like, they just make me laugh because they're so ridiculous. They're so over the top. I'm like, instead of saying Mog, I can hear them just being like, bro. Like, that's what I think every single time is they're just like the bros. But yeah, I think it's going to be fun. And I think when they eventually realize, oh, maybe we aren't all of that, it's going to be interesting. But they're just fun.
That is true. Yudi, your thoughts on the promo before the match?
Yeah, I thought the promo was good. I was surprised by the promo. Basically, when they came out, and I'm like, why is Santi and Ball in gear? Because didn't Sam call out Valor last week? So I thought that's what they're about to hype up. It's like, wait, no, Valor's in street clothes. I guess it's gonna be a tag match of some sort. Because I did not see anything on social media about this match happening. So I went into it cold. I only knew about I think 2 matches, not this one. I just like their promo. It's like they could have been a clone of the Vandy Project, but they're not. They all went to the same college though. They all went to the same college and the same parties, but they are uniquely their own. And when they start mogging out of nowhere, I don't know why I just laugh every time. He just be cutting a promo, then they just mog, and everybody just does a Charlie's Angels pose or something, and I find that hilarious. But yeah, they are hyping him up. Like, Max Abram is the Uber heel right now, and Uber heels they need an Uber faction, and that's what they've been right now. So I'm still looking forward to Sam Holloway and Valor. I'm surprised they didn't really address that at all, the call out. But we'll see what's gonna happen in the future. We know something's gonna happen, but we'll talk about that later on in the show because something else happens. So
yes, they did address what Holloway said, but in a way later. But we'll talk about that later. And specifically, they did, but not really. All right. The Mog Squad, Jakari Ball, and Rivera versus Victor Zanoff and Shadow Ash. Before the match started, Santi ripped off the white afro that he has of Victor Zanoff and threw it on the floor. And even commentary is like, yeah, you shouldn't have done that. You should really study your people before you jump in the match. Like, you guys are not. That's not smart. All right, here we go. Zanoff and Ash are bigger. Zanoff slammed teammate Ash. I did like how the first thing that Zanoff did was just push Santi over the rope. Like, get out of here. like, okay, we're just gonna start off the match like that. Back from the break, Jakari hit a splash in the corner on Xanoff, then an impressive drop kick. He hit a gut wrench suplex 3 more times. I did like that. The tag team between Jakari and Santi was fluid and beautiful. Tag, jump in, jump out. Tag, jump in, jump out. Every single damn time. I don't even need this anymore. Shido was throwing people left and right. I did love that. Just judoing everybody. At one point, Xanoff was in the corner by the Mog Squad, and he was trying to get away. And the ref was clearly seeing Jakari Ball grabbing Xanoff's leg from the outside and just holding him. And I was wondering, can a ref stop him from doing that? Because he's in the match, but he's outside. Should it be legal or not legal? I don't know. It's kind of weird. After all that, Xanoff and Victor said, you know what? We're actually better than these guys, so let's just end this up. They rounded it up, jump up, German suplex for the 1, 2, 3. And Max and Abrams and CJ were all outside, and I love this specific thing that happens. Jakari Ball is holding Santi Rivera's head, and Max is saying, don't worry about it. Let's heal up a little bit. Once my main event happens, you'll be by my side. Thatcher comes in. Didn't I mention this to you guys? Mog Squad is banned from ringside. Everyone puts their hands up. Jakari Ball forgets that he's holding he's holding Santi's head. Lets go of his head. His head hits the floor. Ah! I felt him. I felt the pain for him. I'm like, oh, crap. So, go backwards. EOD, your thoughts on the match and the fact that Mog Squad are banned from ringside?
I thought the match was really good. I did like, I'm going to call it the Unicorn Express until they come up with a name for it, the Mog Squad. I did like how they did their little tag and was jumping in and out. That was pretty cool. But Victor and them, they were pretty impressive. Shido reminds me of, I think it's just the gear of Steve Blackman, because I haven't seen anybody kind of wear that since the Lethal Weapon did back in the day. But yeah, I'm glad they kind of did have this match now, because it does pay off something that happened like a couple weeks ago when they were in the VIP section during their match, and they were rooting for Victor and them to win. But Victor and Shido don't like anybody. So it looked like it was going to go down that day, but it didn't. So the fact they wanted to match with them, and the fact that they are supposed to be like the badasses of Evolve, so it makes sense that they did beat the Mog Squad. And the outcome to me wasn't really ever in doubt. They had some good spots, but overall, like, Victor and Shido pretty much controlled the entire match. And I think he dragged Santi. Yeah, he dragged him at one point to make a tag that was, I think Victor did. That was insane. And them being banned from, and from them being banned from ringside for Max's match was smart. And I'm glad they kind of get that out of the way, because it's already a fatal 4-way match, and to add 3 more people to it might be like too much, in my opinion. So the fact that they're banned already, even though they could have just do whatever. But I do like the fact they were banned from ringside, so we can just get the 4-on-4 no DQ shenanigans that we would get, or non-shenanigans. But I didn't want to see other people involved. It's already enough people in the first place, so that was a good call. But he should have. What I thought that should have done was say something about Victor and Shido, though, because you did fire them, and now they're wrestling. I'm thinking he should have at least said something or addressed it somehow, like either. Even though I don't like the fact that you're here, you were impressive. Just anything.
Yeah. So. I agree on that. Also, thank you for reminding me that Victor picked up Shido and used him as a human suplex on the body twice. I'm like, oh, and I love that Robert Stone said this. It's not smart for the Mog Squad to piss off 2 Olympians. 2 actual Olympians in a tag team together. It's rare. But either way, Shauna, your thoughts?
I really liked the match. I thought it was great. I love that move, like, towards the end. I don't know what it was called when the match ended. I love that. But the thing that gets me, and I still don't understand this, is it's playing on what you said, EOD. So Thatcher hires Shido and Ash. They cause chaos. They don't do what he wants to do. And yet he's using them to punish the Mog Squad. Like... I don't get that part. I think that's kind of funny that the Mog Squad loses and he's got this thing out for the Mog Squad, but not for the security team that he hired that has caused chaos on Evolve. So I think that's a little strange, but I thought the match was really good. And I love the turn of events that, they couldn't be there, because I was like, can we just have a straight up match for Harlem's first match? And knowing that they were banned from ringside, lays that chaos down, so it can just be those 4 guys. So I understand why they did it. But I think it's going to be interesting. I think we're going to see a lot more feuding between Shido and Ash and the Mog Squad going forward, because we really can, switch out the 2 going up against them. So it's going to be fun to see if we see the Mog Squad come after him again, and we put CJ and Max in there, or CJ and someone else. So loved the match, and I'm just really excited now to see how the storyline plays out with the Mogs.
Agree completely. I love that they just got their asses beat. They try to be strong, but at the same result, they just know that these are 2 Olympians, and you didn't study them, and you just, even though they didn't, I mean, they didn't. They kind of knew, because they walked in. They're like, "Oh, we have a tag match." No, they kind of knew they were going to fight 2 Olympians. They just acted like they were better than them, and that was stupid. That was stupid in a whole different type of ways.
And that's what I love about it, is they just think they're like untouchable, and then they get their butts whooped basically. And then all of a sudden they're not like taking anything like, oh, hey, we need to like regroup. No, they're like, nope, we're still on top. We're going to take everybody down. It's like, guys, this plan is not working for you.
The dumb boy summer for those guys, honestly. All right, moving on. We're going to like combine a little bit of 2 and 1 here. Okay. Backstage, Noam Dar, Marcus Mathers, and Romeo Moreno were talking in the locker room. Marcus was telling the newcomers that it felt like the WWE ID Class 1.0 program was failing, and it is. And it's falling apart, too. Everyone's just going to different ways. It's Gal comes up and says he's peaking and just got a big win. Cappuccino Jones slides in Velveteen Dream style with whatever he was drinking, and tells Noam Dar, says, look, I don't want to hear this shit. Romeo, let's get the hell out of here. So they leave. And Cap says, look, like if you were nice to people and just shut up, people would not be mean to you. Mathers brings up the fact that you lost twice to Cutler, 2 to make it true. It's Golf fakes laugh and said, look, Cutler's a beast. Dark State are scary. And I took him to the limit. If you want to go after Cutler, how about you go to Thatcher and ask him for a match against Cutler? So that's coming later, Mathers versus Cutler. And Cap, you haven't been winning either. So how about I have a match with you and me? And then, like always, it's Gall. And then he just fades away. We combine this with Thatcher's back, which is not really backstage in his office. It's like, I think it's a storage closet corner
boiler
that he
room.
made it. Yeah, because there's a freaking locker behind him, and there's a ladder. That's not an office. That's like, you had an office. What happened? Like, oh, hey, we'll keep your office, but we can't change your nameplate. Well, okay, change my nameplate. All right, you're gonna have a nice little corner office, which is not an office. Anyway, he brings up that there's gonna be major events. Starboy comes in. Starboy tells him, like, look, I want a match with Cappuccino. Like, there's a match with It's Gall next week. Like, I know. Okay, let's make it a triple threat. He tries to sit on the desk. He said, get off my desk. He's like, all right, fine. You have a triple threat next week. Like, oh, and he says, oh, these freaking young people sitting on people's desks. What's wrong with them? So, Shauna, what are your thoughts on the first promo and second promo combined, and the fact that next week's show is called OG versus Starboy?
So I think that next week we will see the official heel turn of Cappuccino Jones and the face turn of It's Gall. I think at the end of that match, the flips happen for sure with Starboy in there. And I think Starboy is just added to the match. I'm excited to see Starboy in the match, but I think we're going to see it's going to be more It's Gall and Cappuccino on that. I love the match because it was kind of like Gall's got confidence. He's not just like, hey, let me find a friend. And so I think, this is where Sam's promo that he had last week, I think, saying, we need to have a unified front with ID 1.0. So I think we're going to see that play into this to be like, hey, you're bickering, we're 1.0. We got to stick together. We got to do this. So I think we'll see Sam come out as a leader at some point. I love how Thatcher's office changes every week. I just think it's hysterical. It's like, where is he at this week and what is he doing? He did tell me that when I talked to him, when I met him, he said that that's one of his favorite things to do is to change up the office. So he has a lot of say in what's in there. So that is him having fun. But I think it's going to be interesting. But I think this is going to solidify the heel turn and the face turn 100%. I think it's going to be a great match. And I think in the end, I think Cappuccino is going to come out on top because of that heel turn. And I think it's going to come out, and then we'll see another program somehow with Starboy, maybe Starboy and Gall teaming up together. Maybe that'll give us our face tag team to take on the other guys. But I loved both promos, but there's going to be some fallout. That's for sure.
EOD, your thoughts?
All right. First, let me say I really did like the promo, but the match between Skull and Cappuccino, I did not like. But here's why: because I like Cappuccino and it's Skull, and I'm torn. I'm torn. I was like, at first, I was like, oh, you get a match. I was like, oh no, I got to pick between the two of them. And then they had the, no pun intended, they had the unmitigated gall to add Starboy to it, who I also like, which makes sense for the Cappuccino thing. And I did like the fact that Thatcher was like, I'm not changing the match because basically it's a good match. But then he was like, I don't like it's Gall either. And so he said, all right, well, if you want to be added to the match, basically, and now it's a triple threat match, which is a little bit more palatable to my stomach. Only because now we're going to have some shenanigans. We can pay off the Cappuccino storyline with Starboy. I do agree with Shauna. I do think we're finally going to get the full heel turn for Cappuccino Jones in that match somehow. I don't know how the match is going to end, because really, or we don't even get an ending to the match. Maybe it gets so chaotic we don't even get one. And for purposes of the story, it doesn't really matter. Just as long as we can get Cappuccino is clearly the face. I think I think he's pretty much a face now, and I think that will solidify it next week. How Starboy falls into it, I don't know. I'm guessing there'll be a lot of shenanigans that's going to happen, but I'm really looking forward to it. And I do think you're right about Sam Holloway. I think he's going to play a part in it somehow too. Maybe if not the match itself, I think he will show up, because he's starting to look like he's becoming the 1.0 leader. And even Marcus was saying that. He's like, look, about 1.0, we're supposed to be this and that, but we're kind of not. And they're right. 1.0 is falling apart right now. And ego, it was going to happen anyway. And I actually liked it. I was saying that was a good thing for them to begin with the 4-4 or the 3-on-3 match that they got swept by, because it shows some dissent between the good guys. So now we can see like some different characters, and I'm really looking forward to it now. I still don't know who's gonna win though. I don't put that on me, Ricky Bobby. I don't know.
Thank you for that reference. It's Gall's gonna win. You know why it's Gall's gonna win? Because you have two people that have their own problems, and it's Gall is kind of a master of sneaking in wins. He's always done that. My favorite match I watched him is when he did an independent one. That's the one when Jakari Ball got a concussion by Drake. I remember that match. Yeah, that show.
That showcase.
Yeah. On that same show, he had like a gym off with Sean Legacy, and at the end of the match, he snuck in a quick ass, like just a pin out of nowhere. So I think it's gonna be a like Shauna's right, and Shauna's been right on everything. So I'm gonna bet on black at the next blackjack table. I will say, Cappuccino turns heel, Starboy turns base, and It's Gall stays It's Gall. Everybody wins. And then It's Gall gets another win. I kind of weirdly feel Gabe is hearing us. He's like, okay, fine. We're going to give him a winning streak to go after Harlem. That is what we've been saying for weeks, months, a year. Like, give him a shot to go up to a championship match. Let him have it all. And then from there, you can decide if you want him or not. Because he'll be fine in the Indies. But give him a title shot, and come on now. Now, Skylar Ray and Anya Rune, you start to hear the ring announcers different types of tone. Straight up among the panel, and I love how he said it, how he said it. And then Skylar Ray came out. Commentary. I wasn't gonna clip this, but I'd rather just say it. Blake Howard tells Robert Stone, "Oh, I bet your kids are like wanted you to talk to Anya Rune for them." He's like, "No, I actually met Anya Rune just today. She met me, and then she threw which was I think in her words a metaphorical Dragon Ball at me. I don't know what's going on there. That's what she said, and I'm gonna leave it alone right there." So this match was back and forth, a little slow for Anya. Like Anya needs to get more comfortable, and she's been training since she was 14, and she's 20 right now, so 6 years training in wrestling. There was a European uppercut by Anya to raise back at 1 minute 30 seconds. Skylar hit a bulldog, which is a kind of weird bulldog that she did for a near fall. Rune got a backslide, kind of a weird backslide. I did like the sequence where Anya Rune did an eat defeat, and then Skylar countered that with an eat defeat as well. So they both did an eat defeat. I was like, all right, that's kind of weird to do. At one point, Anya Rune tried to go up to the top rope and didn't do it. Second time she went to the top rope, she got up to the top rope, and Skylar Ray's like, "You've just been too slow. You've been there for 3 freaking minutes. It's like a 12-minute match already because of your ass." So kicks her off, and then she gets up to the top rope, does a frog splash for the 1, 2, 3. Post match, Anya Rue's on the floor. Gianna Capri beats the crap out of her and just dog talks her for about 30 seconds. We don't know when this match is going to start. We don't know when this is going to happen. Shauna, your thoughts on the match? This match lasted, sorry about that, 4 minutes, 39 seconds.
I like the match. I really thought Gianna was going to come out during the match because the past 2 weeks, Anya's come out to do her ooh-woo in the middle and whatever she's doing, and it's thrown Gianna off. So hey, I was convinced Gianna was coming out in the match, and that's how the match would end. It would do something for it would distract Anya. Anya would lose. Gianna commented on my thing and said, "Nope, she just lost it on her own." LOL. So I thought that was pretty funny. I like the match. It really kind of gave us more of who Skylar is because we really haven't seen her for a while. So I think that was really good. And I think once again, we're seeing Anya's trying to do that move, being hesitant. So when she finally does land it for whatever it is, if it's with Gianna or another match, it's going to be this big moment because she had those 2 falls. The one time she tried to do it, being real skittish, staying up. So I think this is another playing into she's going to do the move. She can't do the move. So that way, when she hits it finally, it's like, holy shit, she did it. And I think we're going to see that with Anya, and I just wish they would play out with her and Gianna just a little bit more, maybe a backstage segment, something between the two of them. But I really liked the match. I thought it was good, and it's a really good storyline build up to keep for Anya to go so we can finally see her hit the move eventually.
Yeah.
So
before we get to EOD, all Anya has to do backstage is that Gianna's walking, even though we don't really have a backstage in Evolve, it's just little sections of popular universes. So let's just say she's backstage in the locker room, and then she hears Anya Rune, and then Anya Rune does the Kamehameha move. They shift to Gianna, then they shift back to Anya Rune, and Anya Rune just has a chair. Spat! That's just simple comedic timing, ladies and gentlemen. Unless they have the graphics to show a Kamehameha, do a chair or something, or do ninja styles where Gianna looks, and when you come back, it's just a log with some like Naruto stuff on the log, and it's all Anya stuff. Do something, because if you get us stretch this match for at least if we don't get this match to the end of this tapings, you're really stretching this out, Gabe. Why? Anya's stuck in this until what? Until the future endeavored? No, thank you. EOD, your thoughts on the match?
Yeah, I thought the match was I thought it was fine. I do like that Anya's still doing the storyline with the whole top rope thing, but I also agree with Shauna. I thought Capri was going to come out because Anya's been coming out in her match, and since the fact that they're both faces, I thought, okay, Capri will come out, distract her, do something, and then cost her the match. I didn't think she was going to lose the match clean, which she did. She lost the match clean, and Capri came out there, and I'm going to have to disagree with Alex. I want this feud to continue. I need it to end at Succession 4, and I need her to pull off the move at Succession 4. That's what I want. That's what I want to see. Because they threw some stuff out before this last Succession. They could definitely put this match on in place of.
Oh my God.
I forgot what happened at the Succession. We're like, why was that?
Yes.
Why was that? Why did that even happen? Now this is a storyline I think could use a Succession payoff. Is this right here, because it's one of the only feuds that's still going on since the last Succession. So pay it off. That's what I want to see the match. I don't want to see a match before that. I don't want to see 2 out of 3. I want to see that match at Succession 4. That's just me personally. And Capri, she's just so, I don't know why she reminds me of Janice so much from Friends. But I like her. And I like the whole, I like what they got going on. And Skylar, she got a win. So I'm like, all right, Skylar, I guess you go here now. So it's fine. It was a fine match. So
Well,
It was faster
with
than the
that,
last
what?
match he had.
Yeah, a little bit faster. I give you that.
It felt like they were doing the moves correctly. It just was like at half speed. It felt like the last match she was in. In this match, it felt like
Okay.
okay, they're actually doing the moves and everything at like regular speed. So
No, she was. I'm not knocking on your rune. It was a good match.
yeah. Oh
And
no,
Skylar Ray.
Skylar
They
Ray
kind
match,
of. Yeah.
felt like it before.
Oh yeah. Okay. And by the way, they implied it in the commentary. Skylar Ray won LFG season 2. Skylar Ray, well, like you've been saying it so many times. If she doesn't win, it's an embarrassment to LFG, which is not even a winner thing anymore. But to what EOD's comment saying that we have to extend this all the way to Succession 4. Oh hell no!
Because I want to see it at Succession 4. That's why. I have no other reason
I know.
than that.
I got new buttons. But you can do this. This like when you were saying this, I was imagining Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker, and that was just Anya Rune Jr. Yarna Capri. You're just setting this up, the devil versus the angel. Like, all right, fine, I get it, cool. Again, I want to see it. I want to see the match, and it better be like Ciampa versus Gargano. Like you guys are just best friends, and you're beating the shit out of each other. Just beat the crap out of each other. Tubi don't care about no blood. Come on, man. They still show Indiana Jones in the first movie with the Nazis. Anyway, backstage, not even backstage, outside in the NXT parking lot, Elijah Holyfield's like, yo, where's Brooks Jensen? Where you at? I'm going to find you. I'm going to fuck you up. Quick thought on that, Chana. Let's just, oh my God. He is the danger in the parking lot.
Yeah, he was like, I loved how it was kind of it felt very organic. Like he's like, I'm just hunting for him. Like I'm tracking him down. I'm gonna find him. Let's go. Let's get this on. Really like it. So waiting to see when we get that next match. And I'm sure it's not, I don't think it's just going to randomly be next week. I think we're going to get the announcement. We're going to get another segment from them. So I don't think we're just going to randomly get it, but I loved it. It felt really nice and organic. Like I'm out here, I'm hunting the parking lot. I'm going to find him. I'm going to beat his ass. Like, so I think we're really building this feud up very well. And I think the next match is going to be insane. If it's bull rope, if it's, whatever it is, it's going to be absolutely crazy.
Good point. Quick thoughts, EOD. And what if Jensen, Holyfield, Evolve Underground match?
I don't want to see an Evolve Underground match, only because I just want to see that on NXT. I think they should all have like something unique, at least one thing that's unique to each thing. Bull rope match, it would be kind of cool if they did have the bull rope match. For this reason, Brooks has beaten him twice. It'll be nice to see Elijah beat him at the thing that he cherishes the most, the bull rope. And hunting this man down in the most dangerous place on earth is crazy. He was out in the parking lot. We all know that's the most dangerous place in the wrestling world. He's out there just hunting this man. So I thought that was, we saw the last time somebody was out in the parking lot, turned into like a forever feud between Cam Riggins and Tate Wilder. So I did like that. I did like that. So if you know about the parking lot. So he's out there. He's not afraid of no parking lot. So I liked it.
No, I loved it because like that's what I said. He was literally shirtless in the middle of the afternoon. Like I'm trying to find you, Jensen, and every person that's a heel is like, I'm not fucking with him. Nope, we're going the other way. There's another way out of this place. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the main event. Harley Riggins is in the VIP section. I had a clip from the movie with Amy Schumer and John Cena where he was in the movie theater. Yeah, I was gonna get that clip. I tested it. It didn't really work out, so I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm just gonna describe what he said. I'm gonna punch you in your dick hole. So that's what I would imagine Harley Riggins is. Main event: Max Abrams, Aaron Rourke, Tristan Angels, and Harlem Lewis. Ryan Katz is your ring announcer, who literally, as EOD said, Tracksuit Mafia. I felt like he was just someone's grandpa that was just chilling there. Like, is that Robert Stone's grandpa? I don't know who he was. Ryan Katz is a professional wrestler. He is a creative control producer on NXT, and he sometimes helps Evolve as well. It helps Gabe Sapolsky. What I found out is that Mike Rohn was unavailable for June 20th for a set of tapings, so Ryan Katz came in and just did the set of tapings for June 20th. So we're going to see him for 4 episodes. I tagged him on Instagram saying, can you just stay forever? Mike Rome sucks. So that's how it is. No, because like Cardi M, Invisible Woman made up a good point. I can accept Ryan Katz dressed like that. That's just who he is. If he dressed like a tracksuit all the time, I'm not going to knock on him. That's who he is. The voice is what matters in announcing, right? The voice is what really matters. But Mike Rome, that bum, would come down to Evolve dressed like a Tuesday, as Cardi M would say it. Like, no, you're supposed to come in for the main event. Why are you dressed like you just going to Walmart? Look at the Shauna approval nod. You know damn well it's real.
Yeah, we talked about this like plenty of times. Like,
I tagged him.
Yeah, because when he's on NXT, he's always dressed in, and I get it. And I'm just like,
always.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you could easily do something where it's like maybe it's a jacket, an overcoat, something. Because yeah, I get they're doing 4 episodes, but that wardrobe budget is pretty extensive, and you've got a pretty large one there. You could swap out, like, even if you're wearing what you're wearing on NXT, wear the same, not costume, but wear the same stuff you're wearing. It's there in wardrobe.
I was gonna say I'm fine with it for regular main event matches. But for championship matches, you should put in an effort and everything for championship matches. Mike Rome, it's like if you want to wear like just a regular main event, like next week's main event, you want to wear what? To me, that's fine. But for a championship match, I'm like, you got to do better, Mike, because we know you can. We've seen you. You were dressed to the nines on XT all the time. So when he comes out, sometimes it's not even like it's a bad fit. It just feels like it's a championship match. You should put a little something extra to it. That's all.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Do better, Mike Rome. If not, we sent away Chewy. We could send you away too. Anyway, Ryan Katz announces every person, and he says it with such gravitas. I'm not gonna copy him, but he was so freaking good in every single one. Bell rings. Harlem Lewis's first action, if this was D&D, is run after Aaron Rourke and do the same thing twice. Aaron Rourke's like, fuck that, jumps over, boom. Aaron Rourke tried to do finishers or little special moves on everybody, but since he's fought everybody already, they knew what to do. At one point, Tristan Angels was on the top rope. Aaron Rourke does a handstand like he did before, and Max Abrams is under him. And Tristan Angels is like, I've already got caught by this before. Nope. So he slams him down. At one point, Harlem Lewis had Max Abrams in an inverted DDT pose. He grabs Tristan Angels, and I thought he was gonna do like a weird thing. Like, no, he just Uranagi's Tristan on Max Abrams. It was quite freaking beautiful. This match was powerful and just potent. At the end, Tristan is out. Don't know where he is. Max Abrams is getting beat up by everybody. Mr. Aaron Rourke, or just Aaron Rourke, does the over the rainbow. 1, 2. Harlem slides in, does a Shining Wizard, picks up Max Abrams, does his finisher, the boom slang for the 1, 2, 3. Aaron slides in on the 2.99 to stop him. And then not the last frame, but the last thing you see after the bell rings is just Harlem and Aaron staring at each other saying, yeah, I got you. Sorry. So after that, Harlem stands tall. Nothing really happened after that, really. So, Shauna, your thoughts of the match and the scene that I think this is not his final evolution. I think this is just the continued to a final evolution between Aaron and Harlem.
Yeah, I really like the match. Like I said, I'm glad storyline-wise, the Mog Squad was banned from ringside, because when you have a fatal 4-way, you didn't need all of that chaos. And I think it would have been a disservice to Harlem for this being his first title defense if they had all of that excess chaos in there. Going into it, knew Tristan was not going to win. Like, he's got that thing going on with Shiloh, but as we know, Shiloh is now out for a few weeks because he has a broken facial bone. So Shiloh is out. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with Tristan, because these have already been taped. So, and now he doesn't have Shiloh on NXT. So, but I knew Tristan wasn't going to win. Max, I didn't think so either. Just because without the Mog Squad there, I feel like if the Mog Squad was ringside, I would have put more stock into Max potentially winning, because they would have caused chaos. But I do think that this with Aaron, we're going to get an official rematch. I think Aaron deserves an official, like his final evolution and a one-on-one rematch. There's part of me secretly that would love to see the evil gay character come out, but since they did tone Aaron back, I don't know if we'll see that side of Aaron. But I do think it's set up really well. And I was actually shocked we didn't see anybody else come out to challenge after that. I thought for sure it was going to be like, all right, these three are down. Who's coming out for the stare down? I've got next, all of that. So it was kind of interesting. So I think we're going to probably stay in the bubble of these three for continuing after Harlem.
EOD?
All right. Yeah, this was a really good fatal four-way, and I did like the fact when Harlem got in there at first, Stone was talking him up like, "Oh yeah, he's going to be fighting like 4 guys," and he was like, "Yeah, he's probably used to fighting like 10 guys at one time." I did like that to show that, oh yeah, Harlem knows he's a badass. But yeah, it was a really good match, and like Shauna was saying, like most of this was basically Harlem is the champion, but most of the feuds go through Aaron Rourke. So the fact that he's doing moves that he's beating some of these guys with, but it's like, oh, we've actually learned from our mistakes. So when he tries to do a move that finished them off, oh, they know what to do, or can get out of it some way. So I did like that. It's like, okay, we studied you just like you studied us. But at the end, one thing I didn't like about the match is at the end, once Harlem won, they said he stole one. To me, he did not steal one. It is a fatal 4-way match. He did what he had to do and everything. And I mean, what is he supposed to do? Oh, let me wait for him to get back into the ring, or what? It's like he did what he had to do. He took advantage of the situation. Sure, he didn't beat him, but he beat somebody. And Aaron, he did get into the ring late. It's not like he ever broke up the pin to begin with, because he got in late and he just kind of stopped. So you can, so them saying that he stole it. It's not like Aaron Rourke came in, broke up the pin at the last second, but it was already too late. He didn't even get to him to break it up because it was already too late. So I did like the stare down, and like y'all were saying, it looks like we're going to get another one-on-one match between Harlem and Aaron. And Riggins is still out there waiting in the wings, but I think we're going to get the Aaron Rourke match first before we get to Riggins. I think Riggins will be after maybe Rourke is like completely gone to NXT, if that's the plan. But I think we need to have the Aaron Rourke pay off first before we have like another contender in there. Like pay that off, have his final evolution, whatever you got to do, then move on to Riggins. But Riggins is there. He's staking his claim that, hey, he wants to be the next person up. And parking big rigs in the championships and all that good stuff that he says.
Okay. Thank you for setting it up. I can actually press this button now.
I don't even know if that's PG.
That's Riggins for you. That's what he said. I'm just repeating what he said, ladies and gentlemen.
I know.
Oh, for the audience. For the audience.
Not EOD is a good guy. Holly Riggins is. All right. This match lasted 5 minutes 19 seconds. This is by far the fastest fatal 4-way match I've ever seen. It's kind of weird.
It didn't feel like it was that fast. Only 5. Wow.
Dude, because you know
the whole
why?
episode felt super fast.
Yeah.
44 minutes. That's it. 44 short episode. Not the shortest. The shortest is 37. But 44. But the fact that if you take away the announcer, you take away the entrances, it would have been a 9-minute match. Cardi was saying it too. They gave Aaron Rourke 1 minute exactly. They gave Tristan Angels 1 minute exactly. They gave Max Abrams 30 seconds, and they gave Aaron Rourke 30 seconds of entrance. Harlem Lewis. So everyone had and then the announcement was about a minute and a half. Everyone was getting their shit in time-wise.
The announcer was really, really good. I was like, man, he had so much energy. I loved it. It really felt like it was like a big deal. Bring him back for Succession.
Yes.
4.
Please.
For the main event.
Oh, God, yes. I love this. Also, the ending. Thank you for bringing that up, that Harley Riggins was trash-talking Harlem Lewis. It seems kind of weird that Harley and Harlem were in a tag team in main event, and they are a tag team in main event. Yeah, and they're like, oh, I hate you, but we crushed it on main event, but I hate you. I'm like, what?
That reminds me, real quick before I forget, PJ Vossler will be on main event this evening as of this recording.
Ooh!
Take it on IG now.
Hell yeah, I'll watch that match. I bet she's going to fight Ren Sinclair and she'll beat her. Everyone beats Ren Sinclair in main event.
So Ivy now, the queen of main event right now. Everything goes through Ivy now. It seems like on main event.
Yes. Now I want to say the final thing from ProWrestling.net. The reason I get my stuff. Harlem and Media hit a jackhammer on Abrams for the pin. Aaron was second, too late to break it up. Harlem and Aaron stared at each other. Even ProWrestling.net noticed that. Like, they're setting it up for later. He complains that it was a short match. You should have put in a Nikita Lyons. He really likes Marcus Mathers. Or sit-down interview with Marcus Mathers with clips of his tour to Dragon Gate for 7 weeks. I'm like, okay, you really like Marcus Mathers. I respect you on that. Shauna, final thoughts, and where can they find you?
So I really liked the match. It was really short. I do wish that the final match was just a little bit longer because I think Harlem's first title defense being a triple threat, he should have gotten a little bit more. I feel like everything there was kind of rushed. I would have liked to have seen something with Nikita after everything that happened last week. And my other thing is I would have loved to have seen someone come out at the end to be like, hey, who's coming after Harlem next? Like the world tour is on, something even in that sense. But I'm excited to see what happens next week. I'm loving the new ring announcer. So hopefully, like I said, he's here a little bit longer. But overall, enjoyed the episode. I just remember sitting there being like, how is this over now? Like, what happened? Like, how did it go by so quick? But you can find me on TikTok and Instagram under Shauna Reed's Horror, where I cover wrestling and I give you horror book recommendations.
EOD?
All right. Yeah, this episode was good. I gave it a B overall. I did like the new ring announcer. It flew by. I think it flew by because we've been used to now having a lot more segments on the show instead of just wrestling. And this episode didn't have as many segments, it felt like. Or if we did, the segments were a lot shorter than other ones. So, yeah, this episode flew by. I didn't realize the main event was only like 5 minutes to me. I was like, the whole episode was fast, but it was good. It was good enough. So, like a solid B for me. And you guys, you could find me at EOD33 Wrestling Hub. That's my YouTube channel. All my socials are on Linktree/EndOfDays33, which you will find my YouTube channel on. And I do live watch-alongs of Evolve on Wednesday nights. So if you want to come by the YouTube channel and feel free.
Great commentary. Shout out to Coach FCHW. He might possibly instinctively, allegedly be here tonight for the main show at PWF Wrestling on YouTube. Check us out. I forgot we have to say this too. Shout out to Wrestling Soup and Friendos Network. Shout out to Apple, Spotify, Spreaker, wherever you can find our audio platforms. Shout out to Those Evil. Shout out to the Jedi Sports Media Network for accepting us into their platforms now and really expressing us on all platforms. We've been like the highest we've ever done views here, 9 people. So that's really cool. Stay healthy, stay happy. Tonight at 9 o'clock, we will possibly not have a full crew, but a crew. We have a lot of things to talk about. A lot. Stay healthy, stay happy. This was the Evolve Effect, episode 72. See you in 73, because shit's about to go crazy.